Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the AwesomeCast. I'm Michael Sorg. We are here once again, and I hope you guys are enjoying your week. With me, as usual, is the man behind the boards, the man with the plan, the man to please the fans.
It's me.
It's Chachi. How you doing?
I'm right. How are you?
He's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm good.
I like Tuesdays.
You like Tuesdays?
What can I say?
You expressed your love for Tuesdays.
I did. I mean, it's a good day.
It's a solid day.
It is.
Yes.
It's not Monday, and it gives me something to get me through the week.
We come in here, we talk tech, we talk wrestling after this, and
Right.
and people seem to listen for some reason.
Exactly.
So there you go. And rejoining us from he jogged here today, ladies and gentlemen.
did?
Yes, he's trying to be a fit nerd. Is AJ, the Eater of Worlds?
What?
Devourer of universes.
That's right.
I actually made Sorg and I have a fake contract where I was not to come back to the show until there were golden microphones to really allow my voice to spread across the internet with such flair and clarity. And today, I have one. Look at that.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Pan over.
We're fixing it. There you go.
Yeah. Do you hear the clarity in which I'm coming through your speakers into your ears? Yeah. Gold. Right there. Solid gold. So there you go.
All right, wait for Chachi to get back. He's adjusting a camera.
Sorry, there's a lot of space for the one side of them.
Yeah, it was like over here.
Yeah, it was driving me
I can
nuts.
see it.
So now I'm seeing it on the delay. There he goes.
Yeah.
There he goes, presenting the microphone.
Nice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Of course, this is the AwesomeCast. If you stumbled upon us, we're over at AwesomeCast.com, and along with all of our other shows at SorgatronMedia.com here in the studio.
It's on the screen for you.
It will be in a second, I'm sure. And so that means it's on you.
Right.
You can email us at contact@awesomecast.com.
.com.
Or how were we doing that last week? We started singing it. I still don't know it.
No, you started singing the phone number.
I started singing the phone number. Yeah.
724-258-CAST.
Miss from the mall.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. I had to do that.
724-258
Or that's
CAST.
nice.
Nice. I like that.
724-252-2278.
Adding and enhancing. Oh, he said he'll call us.
Yeah.
All right. Rob De La Prada is in a meeting right now.
Meeting.
That guy is gallivanting into other countries and
Canada.
Somehow Newark, New Jersey in the mix.
Newark, New Jersey is another country.
Yeah,
I'm sorry for all
true.
of our listeners in the fine state of New Jersey, but that's another country.
Yeah, I had a Greyhound layover there. That was not cool. Yeah. So he should be joining us shortly.
Don't do that again.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
That microphone doesn't like you.
Yeah, it doesn't. It made a lot of brrr sounds.
So we're gonna get right into it. First off, I'm kind of mad.
Wait.
What?
Can I do this one?
Can you do? All right.
Yes.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Putting it on me.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to get you a switcher so bad.
i5, iPhone.
I want to.
Oh, what the hell?
Can I throw this at you?
No.
Okay.
iPhone 5
Yes.
not coming at WWDC.
Well, I'm actually I'm actually really happy about that. You know why?
Why are you happy about it?
Because you like your iPhone 4?
Well, yes, but I don't have to spend $200 to $300 somewhere in the realm of June again.
Yeah,
which is nice for me in my bank account.
Yeah, as opposed to me with my 3GS, it's cracked in the back. I was really looking forward to my iPhone 5. I'm out of contract.
What's the O phone?
The O phone. I'm out of contract. I could really use a new phone here, guys.
Yo, you're going to get the cool one with LTE, so calm down.
That is true. Okay. Maybe that's the reason.
Yo, calm down. But Apple, while disappointing many of their legions of fans, Sorg being a fan, thousands of people will be at WWDC, not the iPhone 5, because they sold out the entire event in 11 hours.
Oh, my God.
Now, I will say this as a prospective developer for the iOS platform. This guy. I noticed that I stink at programming and that it's not as easy to code for the iPhone or iPad as it may seem. Yeah. Well, I think it's mostly because I stink at programming. But, yeah, I downloaded Xcode and I started programming my app, which will hopefully be coming soon if I can figure out how to make it actually do something.
Are you going to elaborate on what the app is?
No, because I don't want to give away my $1 million idea.
Okay.
It's actually a legitimate idea. It's not a game it's a productivity application.
Will you tell us after the show?
Is it Evernote?
Yeah. No, it's not Evernote or any of these. It won't have any social features at all.
Okay.
I will not be on TechCrunch.
So you're going to
Sorry.
be the ultimately antisocial app.
Yes.
Yeah. Color? I don't know. I don't even know what you are. Or
I'm not
Twitter.
sure. Everybody's talking about it. I have no idea. I'm
not
downloading it now just to find out.
No, here's why it will not have any social features, because it's a legitimate business application. I feel like I can make a grand sum of money doing it. So no, I will not tell you what it is. I'll tell these two after the show, and they won't. I'll have to make them sign a "I'll punch you in the mouth" agreement.
Listen, there's absolutely no chance at all that I'm going to steal your app idea.
Yeah, it's likely
true.
It's likely no, but I have a really good idea in my head. But yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. When they're like, oh yeah, like I was actually inspired by the kid who made Bubble Ball, who's like 14, and he made like a really addictive game, and I'm like, I could totally do it. No, I can't. Like you think you can, you can't, and it's really annoying that you. I've got bested by a 14.
Especially like those guys that are they're guys that were working on an app on the bus to South by Southwest. And
they were just like building an app, and they're like, we're going to go to South by Southwest, and we're going to sell it and make $1 million. I'm sorry, South by Southwest is the dumbest conference ever. I will say that on the internet.
Well, now that we're done broadcasting to all of our fans,
There
because
you
they all
go.
just stopped listening.
There you go.
Hey, the things that come out of my mouth are my opinion alone.
I don't
You
know.
want to go play some kickball?
I don't know anybody.
We got an hour
that's
to
gone.
fill.
I don't know anybody that's gone to South by Southwest. I would like to go to South by Southwest. It sounds like a lot of fun. But yeah, it was, especially this year, it felt like
which part of South by Southwest are you referring to? The music part sounds awesome.
I want to go to the buy part. That's my favorite part.
partying?
Oh, I got it.
Oh.
Other people like the South part, the Southwest part.
I'm stunned that there is a large airline that doesn't help sponsor that by having it like in Dallas instead of Austin.
I know.
But then I remember that there's a lot of hipsters in Austin.
Freaking hipsters.
But like, no, everybody, there's always this big surge of apps that somehow magically appear right before this, and they all do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They all generally do the same thing. Oh, it's a social app. Like this year was the group messaging apps. I'm sorry, that's called Twitter.
Right.
I'm done here.
Yeah.
I don't need Beluga or GroupMe or YoBongo or no. I'm sorry. I have text messaging and Twitter. I'm good.
Not even some Local Mind?
Local Mind? I don't even know what that is.
You know what? You would be good at Local Mind.
I think
Why?
you would be.
Because I'm angry?
Not
What?
to me. No. No, it's not. Angry.
Because you have your finger on the pulse of stuff in Pittsburgh.
Well, I do.
And
You,
that's
sir.
And
That
that's
is
what,
true.
That's what Local Mind is.
Yeah, there's a vein for Pittsburgh that runs right by my house. I just put my fingers on it all the time.
There is a problem with Local Mind. Sometimes I can't find anybody on it, like right now, and there seems to be 4 people in our neighborhood that are. But
It's a new app.
it's a mind share thing.
That's the same problem that Color has.
Yeah.
It was,
okay.
But the problem with Color is that it was limited to like 150 feet.
Well, first, explain Color. Color is a photo sharing app.
Yes.
But within friends in 150 feet.
Right.
Now, Local Mind is you have to be on Local Mind. It ties to your text messaging, so we'll send you a message. It ties to like your Foursquare, Gowalla, or Places, Facebook Places. So now, I actually used it the other night. Mm-hmm. I was down at the bowling alley. We're having some fun, birthday party, etc. There's no clown.
Clowns are scary.
And somebody texted me and was like, "Hey, are the lanes open?" And I looked and I'm like, "Yeah, the non-electronic ones are pretty wide open." And they're like, "Thank you, I got karma points," and it was a whole thing. So, I mean, that's basically the idea.
I'm sorry. There is a certain level, even though I consider myself to be a fairly nerdy person. Mm-hmm. There's a level of me that doesn't want random text messages from people around me. Like, look, the people that I want to talk to who are around me are usually right there, and I can talk to them using my voice and my ears and my eyes. I talk using my ears, by the way.
Or Twitter.
Or Twitter.
Right.
At people around me.
Right.
That's actually a new account that I created that's linked to a certain that's linked to a service that I wrote that only has the people that are around me.
Hey!
We're getting a call.
Oh, there's a call to the hotline.
Yeah, somebody make a Skype rap. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
Hello, Rob.
Hi.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Chachi.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us live from his... Where is he? I can't see
The
there.
satellite.
Is he in a cave? Are you...
Ow.
What is it? Maybe it's the LCD that you're on now, but I can't really tell.
I'm in a ball
You're in a what?
chair.
A ball chair.
Yes.
This is a family show.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It
You
is.
can kind of see like that's the upper edge.
Oh wow! Look at that! No! Look at all that. It's like you're in. What are you in an evil lair? What?
Wow.
Seriously, does that like close and like Darth Vader helmet comes off? Like, how does that work?
Let me back the camera up. Let me see if I can.
Yeah. Oh my!
Wow.
Right? And then,
Wow! Look at that! It's like a big spherical thing.
Are you taking a test to become a man in black?
Yeah. Are you in the?
Are you?
it is kind of like that. I don't remember what those chairs look like. These
They
are
were
probably
like
slightly
that.
more comfortable than
There were
these.
big white eggs.
But there was.
Oh, yeah,
but
those
there
were
was
cool.
nowhere to write. But you had to drag the table over.
Yeah.
That was the
If
test.
you Google ball chair, you'll probably see something that is a facsimile of the very
Yeah.
expensive.
I don't want to Google that at all,
Yeah,
sir. This
no.
is a family show.
Last time someone told me to Google something that seemed harmless, I got some incredible crap, and I'm not doing it again. I'll tell you what it was after the show.
Yeah,
'cause
after
it's
the show,
Not
for the-
family appropriate.
Yeah. Can the internet earmuff it for me, Chachi? What was it?
Post show. So how you doing, Rob?
I'm doing pretty good. I just got back from Toronto, and I'm going to New Orleans tomorrow.
Holy
Jeez.
crap. So are you going to be on next week's show?
No, I will not.
That sounds like an unlikely.
Whoa, what
It'll be a working vacation, sort of, so we might have some free time, but
Oh, wow.
the way the hours go, I doubt I'll be able to make it.
Check the notes, AJ.
What's that? What's
Those
that on
are the
it?
two terms I was told to Google.
I don't have that on. I don't have that on the screen here.
you got to refresh it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so-
let's see what we got going on.
okay. Hold on. Oh,
So-
yeah. Don't ever do that.
So, Rob, how was your trip?
It was good. I went to some fancy places,
Ooh.
and if you ever go to Toronto, check out Bar Chef on Queen Street. It's amazing. It'll blow your mind. I had something called a Fire and Ice, which is it's presented in 3 glasses on a tray, and in the middle is one lowball glass with a giant rock of ice and grapefruit juice and peppercorns. And on the right is a flaming glass of absinthe, and on the left is a flaming glass of almond liqueur. And you put them all together, and it's amazing.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very dangerous.
No, it sounds like if you drink one of them, you go down the rabbit hole. And
Yeah, it tasted like marzipan too. So
what?
yeah, it did.
All right. So
It sounds like the equivalent of taking the blue pill,
Yeah,
essentially.
that's pretty accurate. And you could also get a hickory smoked Manhattan there, where they have
Please
a
tell me that means
hickory
bacon.
wood grill where they burn the wood and they create the smoke as you would like smoking meats, but they capture it in a giant glass bell that's like a foot wide and like a 1.5 feet tall. And then they place that bell full of smoke on top of the cocktail that's on a glass tray, and it infuses the cocktail with hickory.
What are you drinking?
Apparently, we need to put you on a travel show at this point.
yeah, honestly,
Wow. All right, so
Well, where were we? We were. I think.
we were talking about the Worldwide Developer Conference and how
Yes.
how I'm not very good at things.
Yeah. We were also. Rob, were you one that turned me on the local mine?
Yes.
We talked about a few weeks ago on the show, right?
Yeah, last
Okay,
week,
yeah, that's
or
right.
not last week, the week before last week, because we were talking about South by and all the cool stuff out of
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I was just telling AJ, I actually got to
South
use
by.
local mine. Somebody asked how full the lanes were down at Dormont Lanes this past weekend.
Really?
So, yay. And now I look to try to show AJ, and there's absolutely nobody on.
It hasn't picked up yet. I think it's going to be a while before it picks up.
Yeah, definitely. So, but not as bad as color.
I like your green shirt, Rob.
Thank you. It is an ostrich. No, a knight riding an ostrich is what that is.
Awesome.
Okay,
awesome.
so
All right. Well, the next thing. Do you have anything about WWDC you want to bring up, Rob, before we move on?
It's expensive to go to WWDC. Did you know that?
Yeah, I was. It's fit. Well, no, it's $1,500, which seems reasonable enough to me because I went to VMworld last year and it was $1,500.
Yeah.
You get 5 days. It's not like you're paying $1,500 to sit in a room and listen to Steve Jobs talk, which I would gladly pay for.
Right.
But no, but it's $1,500, and the real reason people go is so they can talk to like Apple engineers and figure out better ways to do things and that sort of stuff. Plus, they get free things like they got the first preview of Snow Leopard last year.
Yeah, you get a ton of free stuff.
You get free things
for going to a conference.
You get free things. This purple shirt I'm wearing was part of that lovely $1,500.
Yeah, I got a $15 T-shirt.
But yeah,
good.
But no, the $1,500 seems rather expensive. But the fact that they sold out in 11 hours and then somebody was selling their ticket for $3,500 on eBay today seems kind of excessive.
Yeah, that's a little much.
So there's like a developer fanboyism, or maybe you're saying here.
No, it's not even developer fanboyism. It's people who legitimately want to go because they have legitimate questions and needs.
That important.
It's actually important to them, and
it's it's one of those things where Apple has really capitalized on getting away from the Mac world and stuff like that and doing their own thing, and created a market of scarcity in like just being available and creating an awesome event all on their own. And like AJ is saying, like most companies, when you go to a convention, you don't have the opportunity to really like sit down and say, hey, I've got this like real nerdy engineering question about the system that's about to come out, and I'm wondering if you can help me out. Apple is actually extremely friendly in that sense, and they're willing to help the developers as much as they can because they understand that without the developers, they're nothing.
And they definitely need all the goodwill after some of the stuff with the App Store and some of the bad press.
Yeah.
Recently. So yeah. Excellent. The other big thing that came up, this is funny because I think I misread Jenny Janana on Twitter she mentioned the cloud computing when I was asking what's big this week, and I confused it because I actually just had a conversation last week about how cloud computing might not be the best idea in reliability.
What are you, John Dvorak?
I'm John Dvorak now. I hate Android, and I'm cloud computing's BS.
I've got a little. I don't know if you saw it. I jammed it in the end of the document there, but there's a lot of hate on Android recently.
Well, here's my deal with cloud computing. Number one, I'm wearing the shirt of a vendor who's very involved in cloud computing, and I really like the premise of it. I think that these are the sorts of things that people are going to have to rectify. Is the fact that now when something goes down, like Amazon or Netflix, which is on Amazon S3, Gmail having their issues.
Going back to tape backups to restore 0.02% of their users.
Right. Yeah. But, I mean, you have all of these various things, which, by the way, going back to tape backup is rather normal for me.
Yeah, anyway. That's pretty... Like, it sounds ridiculous. A lot of people that aren't too familiar with the way that, like, data centers work are like, tape backups? That's crazy. No, they're still pretty popular.
No. LTO, the current standard, the newest standard for tape backups is LTO 5, and it stores 3.2 terabytes per tape. Wow. So when people say that tape backups are old, they're wrong. Yeah. But no, I think this is something that people are going to have to get used to.
Yeah.
And are going to have to accept into their life that this may happen and that your stuff is out there now. Yep. And if their service breaks, you can't get to your things.
Yeah. Now, no one is more responsible for your backup than you.
Correct. Which leads into the next bit, Amazon Cloud Player, in their cloud drive, which I'm excited about that there are now people or now services coming out that do what I asked for. What was that, a month ago, maybe? Where you can upload your own music and play it.
Yeah, kind of like a what is it, Spotify or
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
But what I loved about Amazon, how they brought out this service and they know they're going to get people, is you can upload 5 gigs for free. If you buy one album through Amazon's MP3 store, whatever it's called, Amazon Store,
Yep.
You get 20 gigs for free for a year.
Yeah.
Which means
that makes me want to do it, like right now.
Like, I'd go pay. By the way, here's a shameless plug. If you're going to go do it, go buy Wiz Khalifa's Rolling Papers. He's a Pittsburgh rapper. Go buy it. It's $10. Shameless plug there. But yeah, you get a free upgrade to 20 gigs of storage for free.
Yeah, which is enough for most people.
Yeah, which is enough for most of mine. And I could probably lose that extra 5 gigs of stuff that I never listened to get in there.
And even the cost for an upgraded storage is not bad. I mean, you're looking at $20 a year for 20 gigs, 50 for 50 gigs, 100 for 100 gigs, and so on.
Yeah, and I really like that idea, and I think that in comparison to a service like Pandora, which I paid $36 for a year to use their service with no ads and being able to skip tracks when I feel like and all that other enjoyment, that's the sort of service that I'm into. I want that. But also what I want is the ability to have a Pandora-like service in there where it takes my music, figures out what I like, and then plays other music and kind of threads music in there.
Almost like a Genius function.
I want to point out, and I think I think we mentioned this in passing about how iPhone, iPads got kind of stiffed on this. There's actually a workaround I heard about, and I just looked it up real quick because I did log into my computer that's holding, and uploaded a bit of music. And if you just go to the Cloud Player page and when it says not compatible browser, it say continue, it pulls up your stuff right there. So I'll test. I'll try to get something that they're not going to pull me off YouTube for. Here, how about Dio?
John, how about Dio?
What do we got here? These are the albums. It's kind of cool. You got the albums. You got that. Now I kind of do this not in the cloud, but I kind of have something called AwesomeCast that works pretty good about this. Like where it's accessing all my stuff. Let's say Green Day, Kerplunk. Let's see, let's say Play All, and I'm on the iPad. And the interface is kind of nice.
Yeah,
too.
It's got a nice enough interface. The other question I have: do you have any other browsers on there, like Terra? I have
Skyfire.
Terra allows you to put in the user agent and lets you pick Internet Explorer 6.
Oh, really?
So I have it set so that it automatically loads the Internet Explorer 6, so it loads desktop versions of things. Yeah, it just doesn't work. Even though, by the way, the player that Amazon uses for their cloud player is HTML5, not Flash. The uploader is Flash.
I mean, it's a button. It works for the most part, but I'm not getting. I think there's something else of a workaround that I'm missing on this.
Yeah, and there's you have to download the track. If you hit download, it'll play. So if you tap on a track like 2000,
tap on a track. Okay. Oh, so if I hit this,
check it and then hit download.
Hit download.
And then
it'll start pulling it down like another kind of QuickTime file.
Yeah, it'll pull it down as a QuickTime file and it'll play.
I think this is the thing. You have to say no thanks when it says about the Amazon MP3 downloader. Once you install the downloader, say no thanks, and it's just going to do it like a file. Yeah. So I mean, there you go. I got Green Day.
Yeah. So that's the workaround.
Don't pull me, YouTube. Don't pull me. Yeah. So your stuff is still quasi accessible on here. So which is nice. So you're not completely left out.
But I think the issue there is that it would be nice if Amazon either A, came out with an iPad, iPhone app, which is likely what they'll need to do.
I think it's coming down the way.
Or I'm waiting for other services to pick up on this. Amazon, the big talk today was the reason they don't have an Android or an iOS app is that it's a subscription-based service, and we get into that whole business of is it real? I'm of the opinion that is similar to Netflix, where there's no way. It's not that you're paying. You're not subscribing to an issue of things. And there was I remember going back to when this whole scandal or controversy or whatever the heck it is that you want to call it came out, that they discussed that somebody emailed Steve Jobs. Yeah. And Steve replied back saying that it was for publication services and not other subscription-based services. So like Netflix and Pandora, because you can pay for Pandora.
So something like $35 a year to get it without commercials and some of their features.
Right, that I paid for and I greatly enjoy. SiriusXM, which is another streaming app that you have to have an outside account and pay for an account outside with. I think that Amazon Cloud Player would fit into that genre. That it's an outside service and it's a storage service, just like Dropbox. I think that's what it is, and I think that Amazon could do it. And what Amazon would do is build a QuickTime, because obviously it's a QuickTime based stream. It plays MP3s.
Yeah, well, even what? As far as subscription things, I have this app here, Hootsuite. I have a subscription to Hootsuite for $5.99 a month.
Yeah.
So what? Does that apply to this? It's a subscription they provide separately. So, yeah, that was definitely something I think they were pushing to publishers, and some of the language just was so broad. You'll see a rewrite soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I don't think that they need to rewrite it so much as they need to just come out and just say it.
Yeah,
I don't think they need to rewrite the policy, because the policy is pretty strong and says it's for publication services. Yeah. It's not for things like Netflix and Dropbox and all these other services that you have to have a paid for outside account. Well, you don't have to have one, but there are options for that. But I think that's where it goes to.
I'm curious if this is because everybody was Apple thought Lala, that everybody thought was going to be like the Spotify for the US, launched by Apple, built into iTunes and super amazing. And then a couple of weeks ago, I think Apple basically came out and said that they weren't planning on doing anything with Lala, and then they basically just bought it for insurance to make sure that nobody else did. And here Amazon has kind of dropped the ball. And if you consider that in the same token that Steve Jobs replied in his to the question about Blu-ray that he got a few weeks ago, and basically said that like we don't see this as a viable solution and we'll see how things play out in the future. I wonder if the success, or like I wonder if basically whether or not Apple launches a service like this will be based on the success of the Amazon Cloud Player, or if they're like sitting at Elaborate now saying, "Oh, that's cool. Glad we're releasing it next week."
Yeah, or I don't know. Is Apple one? Have they done a kind of, I want to say, knee-jerk reactions, because I feel like they have a plan.
They will never. Yeah, everything is built on a plan. It's part of Apple's success. And they will never ever do a knee-jerk reaction to a product release. So if, say, at WWDC, Apple comes out and says, "Check out our amazing music streaming service," it will not be because, basically, "Oh, Amazon did it, let's rush it out the door," even if it doesn't work that well. It will because their plan was to release it at WWDC.
They built a brand new data center in Cary, North Carolina, and it is massive. And there are very, very few reasons as to why you would go through all that trouble.
Yeah, even honestly, like all the speculation for making MobileMe free and giving everybody like gigs of space, that still doesn't make up for building a gigantic data center.
I mean, it is massive. By the way, I tried to get a job there and couldn't. Because I didn't want to, mostly because I didn't want to move to North Carolina, because it's in the middle of nowhere. Sorry, Hickory. Because that's the nearest town. But no, Apple's got a plan for that. And I don't think we've ever heard of Apple having problems with people accessing the iTunes store or overloading the iTunes store. Have we ever heard a report of that?
The worst case is when an update comes out for a device and the downloads get to be really slow.
Yeah. Or you try to access the Keynote stream whenever they do provide that.
But they throw those up on Akamai.
Yeah.
They don't.
The Keynote streams are on Akamai.
What's Akamai?
Akamai is a completely separate company. That's what it was actually created by. That was a CMU spinoff thing, right?
Yeah, I think so. They're basically just like a giant content server.
Yeah, they were the cloud before the cloud existed.
Oh,
seriously, the Apple's been hosting things. Akamai was a hosting service, so you just put it up there and they create a link for you and they host it and it's their bandwidth. But it's pretty quick because part of Akamai is hosted at the Pittsburgh Supercomputing Center in Oakland. By the way, so if you ever see an Akamai link, go for it because it's usually pretty quick when you're here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, def.
But no, I think that it's either A, they're doing it because they realize this is my speculation. Do not take this as fact. This is just me thinking. A, they're using it to build out their Mobile Me free cloud, where you're going to have a crap load of storage. B, they're using it to expand the accessibility of the iTunes store. iTunes and now Mac App Store.
Yep.
Or C, they want to use it for disaster recovery in the event that something gets smacked by, that something or other gets destroyed, say an earthquake or something like that, and they're using it by putting it on the East Coast.
California falling in the ocean.
Or something like that. But I think that C and B are the far more plausible things than A. I'm sure that there are plenty of rumors going around, and storage is reasonably cheap in the grand scheme of things. But I think that Apple is gearing up for the fact that they are no longer. I mean, there's already talk of them pulling physical, and I don't know if they have it yet or not. But there was talk of them pulling physical media out of their stores for things that are in the Mac App Store, and they say, hey, it's gonna your computer comes preloaded with the App Store. Go into it, click install, and it'll pay for it through there. By the way, that is just as addicting as the iOS App Store.
Oh yeah, I've been trying to stay away from it. I was this close. I'm like, oh, they sent me a DocX. I need to buy Pages. I'm like, oh, it's on the other laptop. Don't do it yet. It's far too easy.
I bought Xcode. I downloaded Sparrow Lite, which by the way is a great looking Gmail app for the Mac, and I almost bought FaceTime the other night. And
you almost squandered that 99 cents.
No, you're sitting there like looking at it, like when you're on your phone and you see like a game for 99 cents.
Yeah.
You don't care. You're like, whatever, 99 cents. This will entertain me for a while. When you're sitting at your computer and you see like, Call of Duty for $50 in there, and it's just as easy to click, you start to think about it.
That's Steam. Man, for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're now looking at it going, man, do I really want to drop 50 in the App Store?
If the App Store has the crazy sales like Steam does, this is going to be a problem. This is going to hit my bank account.
I mean, iLife 11 is in there.
Yeah.
Pages is in there. I think Photoshop is in the Mac App Store.
Is it now?
I don't think so.
I don't know if it is.
I could not imagine them doing that. The ability to just log in and download Photoshop on any computer I wanted, I could not see them doing that anytime soon.
Okay, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Let me think about this one. If you're in the Mac App Store and something like Photoshop is in there, and you download it, which you've already paid for, right?
Yeah.
What happens if you go in the App Store and you go on another computer and you sign up with your account and click download again?
For Photoshop?
For something like Photoshop.
Well, if it's like every other app I'm aware of, you just have it.
You just get it for free.
I wonder.
Steam works the same way. Although there's a new level of security on Steam now, and I'm wondering if they're going to start limiting computers.
Also, there currently are no Adobe products on the App Store.
Okay.
I think there's a giant hurdle for them to even think about getting in this App Store.
Yeah, for exactly that reason that a lot of people would be like, well, I can install all the other apps on whatever computers I use.
Yeah, it's for me like
I do it with your $4,000 software.
I'm wondering if Apple would come out with a way for you to. So if you bought it before you could download it, you had to get the email from Adobe to put in the key. And then the key would go in and download. I think there's
going to be on top of the download. You can download it, but you're still going to have to go through the key and the computer identification system.
Yeah, you might be able to like get a trial and buy it through the app or something like that.
Right. But I think that's why when people emailed Steve Jobs, they're like, "Hey, are you ever going to put a Blu-ray drive in your laptop?" No. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because they want you to stream movies through iTunes.
Oh yeah,
that's part of their business plan. They could give a crap about whether or not you can play your Blu-ray discs.
There's a kind of I've had a discussion along that line. I'm trying to. My dad has to get a computer really bad. He's an old HP sitting there, his old Celeron, and I'm like, well, you might be okay just getting an iPad, Dad. I mean, if you get on the internet, that's really all you need. He's like, well, what about the software I have? Like he brought up the example of a recipe CD that he has from who knows when, and I'm like, Dad, you pay you get a free app, you get updated. You
could just go
recipes.
The internet. There's a thing called the recipes. You just type recipes into Google.
He doesn't know that these things are out. He doesn't. He sees me playing with my iPhone or everything. Angry Birds or something. He doesn't know about this. I'm like, Dad, you don't need CDs anymore.
No.
You the information you have Wi-Fi. It gets on there.
Yeah.
And it's that easy.
And I think that's. When we go back to that whole cloud computing idea, is I get away with an iPad pretty much nonstop.
Yeah,
one of the things, actually, speaking of when we talk about the death of optical discs, being involved in the cloud computing and in data center building things like I have friends who build things, who build VMs and test environments on their laptops to demo for customers. And one of the ways that they do it is they put a solid state drive in their laptop in the place of the optical slot. So on
a lot of people, I mean, for the new MacBook Pro line, a lot of people were mad that wasn't an option.
Right, yeah, so they pull out. So what they did is they went in and removed. They open up the laptop, remove the optical drive, install the a solid state drive, and they use that as their little demo box. And they can bring up an entire data center environment off of that drive, and it blows my mind. And it's crap that makes me think that the tech industry isn't completely dead and out of ideas. I mean, honestly, that cloud computing. And I'm not saying this because I really enjoy it. I'm just saying that's that next level.
Yeah.
It's now going back. It's now this pendulum, and I've said this on other in a more professional environment. It's that pendulum that's now swinging, where it was the mainframe and there was the dumb terminal, and then the personal computer and the Mac and the PC came along, and everything was on the PC and everything was local to the PC, and then the internet came along, and everything started going back towards the internet and back towards the internet, and now everything's starting to go into the cloud, where your PC doesn't really need to have much of anything on it.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that I can run almost my entire life off of this, which is effectively a screen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not much to an iPad. It is kind of amazing. And it's now swinging back to the point where I don't need to have local storage.
Wow. Yeah.
Like I said 2 months ago, when I was on the...
I got distracted by the document.
Yeah. It's changing colors before my eyes.
But I mean, you swing back towards the towards that mainframe or that cloud idea. I don't need to have local storage. My computer doesn't need to think. I just need to be able to get to my things.
Well, for me, like, not only am I putting things in the cloud, I'm creating my own cloud here.
Yep.
Because I have an iMac sitting upstairs that has terabytes of hard drives hooked up to it. Okay, and all that stuff's getting backed off into the cloud just for safety's sake. All my music, all my videos, everything like that. And I'm like, what did I do? The Amazon Cloud I heard about today at work. I pulled out my iPad. I logged in. I'm not going to show you what's on that iPad because there's dirty stuff in the notes. But I logged in.
People are naughty. You should
downloaded and started uploading things to the Amazon Cloud to check it out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that nothing is more of a like wake up call for the cloud than when you buy a new laptop. Like I just got my new MacBook Pro, and it was shortly after having my old MacBook Pro in for repair. So like suddenly a wake up call. So I give away my laptop, all of my documents and my work and the stuff that I need to function are backed up on my Drobo in a Time Machine backup that I can access. That's cool. So I grab an old MacBook, like white plastic MacBook, and suddenly I'm like trying to like figure out what document is where and what version I have, and then I get a new laptop and I have to do the whole thing all over again, and I'm juggling all these different files. I'm like, you know what, realistically, in today's day and age, it should have, like, I should be using something like Dropbox or whatever to manage these kind of documents. When you consider all the technology we use day-to-day basis, use things like Pandora, Grooveshark, all of your email, like your Gmail, gigs of space storage and everything. There's no reason to store legitimate documents on your computer anymore unless you are a content creator. So like the one exclusion for me is photography, because I have massive amounts of data for the same reason that like Mike has all of his videos backed up into the cloud, but he's not editing them from the cloud.
No, not yet.
Right.
Not yet. Yeah, we're getting there, but not yet.
If I had a Final Cut server, that'd be a different story. I'd be storing them here. I'd be sitting in a coffee shop editing it. That's something we actually thought about when we were upgrading computers to the latest Final Cut.
Cloud.
Months ago. Yeah.
I mean that's seriously where we're starting to get now with this whole cloud idea. And if you look at, I want you to take a look real close at the specs for the new MacBook Air, the 11.6, the base model. Go ahead and take a look at that base storage. That solid state drive, 64 gigs. And I'll tell you what, that's 63 more gigs than you actually need. Honest to God, honestly, if you put all the applications and everything on it, you could run that off the cloud entirely. I have a coworker who has a MacBook Air, and all of his documents and everything he has is in Google Docs.
And I'd say the big thing takes up space for me is games. You know, but on live is putting gaming up in the cloud.
Yeah, very slowly. The idea of local storage is like every day there's a new nail in the coffin. And
the mobility is tremendous. Be able to go to work. I have, what do I have? About 6 computers over here, Chachi, behind you.
Yes.
And each one of them, I'd be like, this one's not working. Let's go to this and bring up the show docs. I mean, we're working off Google Docs for how
Google
we're
Docs
following
right
through
here.
the show.
Seriously, Sorg sent me a link today. I'm sitting at work, I get an email from Sorg. It has a link. I'm in there typing, and I look above me, and he's typing in it too. I mean, we're both sitting there typing on our random notes.
No, I understand what you're saying with that, because 2 weeks ago, I'm in there typing inappropriate things, and I'm watching Rob delete said inappropriate things, and they're disappearing one letter at a time. I'm like, come on. I'm like, you can do it, but
and now
I can't.
Now there's comments in here. It's tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, it's
speaking of the cloud, and you know how you were talking about the mobility. Hey, Comcast, Verizon's crapping in your backyard. The LTE MiFi is now available. For those of you who haven't been listening to the show ever, LTE is Verizon's 4G network, and it's also AT&T's 4G network, and it's also going to be Sprint's 4G network, and soon T-Mobile's 4G network.
Well, if it's AT&T's 4G network, it'll be
T-Mobile's 4G network. You get download speeds between 12 and 18 megs down, 2 to 5 up. That's better than DSL connections. And this little device
that matches your average cable connection.
Yes, it does. You can tuck that in your bag and keep it with you, and break it out at the coffee shop, and you've got your cable connection in wherever you are, or your coffee shop, or in an airport, or on the road. Don't compute while driving. That should be the new commercial or PSA or something.
It's coming, man. You know there's going to be people with iPads. Like, iPad on the steering wheel. Okay. I mean, that's the next thing. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting to see that in the computer.
If Pimp My Ride was still on.
Yeah, they already have it. They already have an iPad in the dash. That's
what they
on the dash?
Yeah, it's already been done.
What about where the horn goes?
Oh, they did TVs in the wheel before. They pull out the airbag compartment and stick a TV in.
That's what.
Yeah, because that's smart.
Why don't we just talk about which Chilla we were talking about the other day?
Player.
Because Chilla one lives in the home from the future. He's going to be on in a couple of weeks. We're going to talk about this. But he's talking about, like, well, I'm going to take this old iPad, I'm going to put it here. It's going to be a control pad as you walk in. You know, just like Back to the Future, too, I'm thinking. I saw a thing, Eddie Inako today was talking about how he mounted an iPad on the inside of a cupboard door in his kitchen. So he I
heard about that.
Screen, like right here.
So I actually was going to do that. I found I happened to be at Best Buy one day, and they have a mount from, I think it's Griffin. I want to say it's Griffin Technologies, just one of those various case, accessory providers for many, many, many mobile devices. And it's a stand that mounts, it's an arm. So there's a piece that mounts into your wall or under a cabinet. And then there's a swing arm that swings out. Or it swings out, and then the entire iPad can rotate 360 degrees.
I think I saw that one, yeah.
So you can do that, and I was going to put one in my kitchen, because I'll tell you what, the iPad is great to have in the kitchen when you have a recipe on it.
Yeah, Missy uses that. Missy uses that. It's fantastic for that is you'd be like, what... I don't know if it's Epicurious which one she uses, but she's like, what do I have in my pantry? Boom, boom, boom. Here's a recipe.
You could pull, but the stand was like $60, and it was just it was basically a swing arm. That's all it was. Nothing, effectively what this lovely golden microphone is on, and it's just a big arm, and it swings out, and that's the sort of thing that comes out.
You've probably seen the tweets. I've cut the cord again. I'm cableless again. Yeah,
I saw that.
I'm giving it another shot. It's just that point. I felt like it was worthless.
So what did you do for the one show that
one show?
You're just using Dailymotion now?
Well, there's Dailymotion, and Justin TV seems to have shows no problem, especially for wrestling.
Yeah, shout out to Justin TV for having pay-per-views and international
the legality
soccer games
is suspect, but you know what? I look at it. It's not a pay-per-view. I'm not skipping
Oh, I
like
do.
$45.
I've done it for pay-per-views.
That's a whole other conversation that I expect to have on the Wrestling Mayhem show.
Bro.
But I'm watching commercials. It's fine. Actually, I had that up in the stream for the Pittsburgh Power Arena football game.
Which, if I may say so,
Pittsburgh Power
is terrible.
Oh yeah,
Their
it's
streaming
horrible.
service is crap.
Hey, dude, it's the AFL. Let's be
I don't
honest.
care.
They're gonna afford,
Dude, it's
man.
arena ball.
They can broadcast it on Justin TV for free.
True.
That's true. That's true.
True.
They didn't have to go out.
By the way,
No.
Did anybody watch the game at home on the CW when they had a home game?
We were there.
Yeah.
I
Did anybody?
looked for it. It wasn't on.
It wasn't on the CW?
Oh, I mean, the visit. They're supposed to have the games on CW.
Yeah.
Nope, wasn't there. That's the first place I went.
I wanted to see if they shoot in HD. I don't think they.
I doubt it because I noticed because the first game we went to is a whole other tangent. First game we went to for arena football was on NFL Network, and when we went to the second one, you kind of noticed a different quality in the cameras. Like this is the B team, KDKA guys. Because I know somebody who works at PXI. They do not have it. Like those guys just can't get upgraded to HD because they can't afford it.
Right.
You know.
But yeah, that was the sort of thing that.
But anyways, back to my point. I cut the cord.
Right.
And the fact that
I was going to jump to the
the television
No,
is
we're not done yet.
No. We're getting back. We're still on the iPad cloud mobility thing. I think. And Cynthia Klosky, big designer I was talking to a few weeks ago, and she's talking about, I love my iPad. I'm watching everything on this thing. I found I'm sitting at the kitchen table or the dining room table, doing some work, and I'm like, I haven't watched SmackDown. Brought it up on YouTube. Missy's doing work for her new coffee shop coming up, and she's got Pandora going. So now we're not dedicated to this giant screen in the front of the living room. Mm-hmm. She's got her music over here. I got my wrestling over here. I'm not subjecting her to 42 inches of my wrestling. You know, that sounds wrong. We're just like
that's dirty.
Like we compartmentized our entertainment as we work, and we're in basically the same room. So it's a whole new world that's been open to me as far as that goes. And I didn't have this 2 years ago when I tried cutting a cord, and I think it's going to be a lot different now.
Can we talk about a terrible idea?
Is it?
Which one? There's a lot in the docs here.
Monkeys using computers?
No.
I mean, there's a few in here.
I'm going to go with Research in Motion for 100. Here.
Oh, you think this is a bad idea? Really?
No. I'm going with the fact that Research in Motion has a legitimate piece of hardware coming out, which is the first time they've had that in 5 years.
Yeah.
And actually, I'll go with 2 years, but sure. The first time that Research in Motion finally comes out with their own piece of hardware, and it looks like they're going to have their own new OS, and it looks like it's going to be awesome, and then they go, crap, let's just put Android apps on it and run it
in a virtual machine. I mean, I have some still nightmares from running Parallels on the Mac.
No, virtual machines work, but they can't make up their mind. And there was an article from Jim Dalrymple, I think it was Jim.
Dalrymple, yeah.
Yep. He explained why Research in Motion can't ever make up their mind, and it's because they can't make up their mind as to who's in charge. They have 2 CEOs and 3 COOs.
Jesus.
Completely true.
So it's like the complete we're too huge of a company syndrome.
Yeah, they can't make up their mind. They can't make up whether they wanted what they could have done. Here, Research in Motion, you want to make something nice for her? You want to jump on the Android bandwagon? Make an Android tablet. Just be done with it. Instead of creating this OS and then trying to shoehorn Android apps in there somehow, and then you're going to have Adobe Flash and HTML5 and Air, they just keep putting crap in there and they won't release it. They previewed this thing 6 months ago. By the time the playbook comes out, the iPad 3 will be out and they will be toast.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest problems with being a big company is that your decision-making process is really slow. So you are either the average or one step behind the competition. And since they have so many management butting heads issues, they're jam-packed 5 steps behind the competition.
Yep. And they can't make up their mind on anything they want to do. And this is why Research in Motion is going down the toilet. And there are a lot of companies who are now taking a look at what Research in Motion is doing. And they're going, okay, so what you're telling me is that the only reason that you are still in business is because companies like us are too lazy to switch platforms. Got it. We
That's
won't
gonna
be
catch
using
up
you
with you.
anymore. And they literally, there's multiple companies that are starting to jump on the Android who saw the VMware thing. There's people who are jumping on the iPhone who see the potential and the extensibility of an iPhone. I had multiple discussions at work when I said, look, there are things you can do on this device that you cannot do on a BlackBerry. I can remote in and fix things at work from my iPhone. No problem. My BlackBerry can barely get my email anymore. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm moving on. Like for enough,
the IT guys here are bonding right now.
He's not kidding.
Yeah.
I'm slowly, yet surely, we have more and more iPhones on the network when the mail admins adamantly said no at the beginning.
because they didn't want to do it, because they wanted to maintain that iron fist control. And I think they realized that having that iron fist control is going to come back and bite them later on when they don't have the ability to maintain anything anymore. That the research in motion is going down the crapper, and they're going down quickly and publicly.
Right.
And they just can't figure out what it is that they want to do.
Can I just say that
Crap, Microsoft has a better plan.
Oh.
They do. Microsoft has a better plan.
They're not doing too good at executing with their update problems.
No, but I will say this. They snagged Nokia, one of the biggest manufacturers in the world, and they snagged one of the biggest manufacturers in the world to run their OS. I'm sorry. They've got it under control. They single-handedly took out Symbian. Which outside the U.S. is one of if not the biggest mobile OS out there, and they single-handedly took it out, thanks to letting go of one of their VPs and letting him get in as the head of Nokia. But they know what they're doing, and Research in Motion is slowly but surely just floundering.
Yep.
And
give me a plunger, I'll help push them down.
Yeah, me too.
And it goes back
Deuces.
It goes back to what I was talking a few weeks ago about like the Zoom. And it's like you see a Zoom commercial and it's like the specs and this and it's going to scare me because it's just like the Android commercials because it's Verizon. yeah, crap flying at my face, and it's like, and then I get the iPhone. Oh, it has an app that does the thing that I like to do on it.
You get to the iPhone or the iPad commercial, and instead of explosions, you get like 30 seconds of a camera pointed at the device doing stuff.
Yeah. This thing does stuff.
Right.
It does things.
By the way, I went to...
it plays music and makes calls. Well, maybe for most of you.
Something little drop here. So the company that I work for, we need a whole buttload of iPads. Literally a buttload. As many as you can fit. And we called up
in a compact car or
no, in your butt.
Oh, I see. It is a lot thinner now. So
yes, it is quite a bit thinner. But so we needed a bunch of them. So we call up the Shady Side store, and we're like, "Hey, do you have any iPads in stock? What's your lead time? What's your waiting time? What's the story?" And the guy was like, "Look, every morning around 3:00, people start lining up outside of our store. And when I say 3:00, I mean 3 a.m. And they sell out in 15 minutes." How long ago did the iPad 2 launch?
That would be...
What, 2 weeks?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They get a new shipment every day, and they sell out as soon as the store opens every day.
By the way, if you're looking for... the last time I checked, there was a pair at the West Mifflin Walmart of iPad 2s.
Man.
Hey, Rob?
Yeah?
Did your company think about calling Apple?
Yeah, that's definitely... Thanks, Chachi.
I think Rob's completely right. They're trying to get these things out the door as fast as they're making these as fast as they can, and they're selling them just as fast.
Yep.
Somehow Radio Shack though got involved.
Yeah.
How did Radio Shack score the iPad?
What?
Who at the Shack gave up like a bunch of like transistors to get those? Who gave up AV converters to get the iPad?
One employee from every Radio Shack store had to give up their first 3 born.
Seriously.
To get the iPad.
The thing that I saw was that they're now looking to require you to buy AppleCare and a case to get the iPad too.
So Radio Shack was basically like, look,
we'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
We'll do whatever you want. You want us to sell these stupid service contracts? We can require them.
Yep.
They can't walk out the door without them. Trust us. We can make that happen. We're the Shack.
The Shack is trying so hard to hang on to like their little business. I remember back in the good old days when you could walk in and ask for the very fancy electronic component. Like I was in there a couple weeks ago. I needed a soldering clamp, heatsink clamp. This is something that like 10 years ago, walk into a Radio Shack and some real funny looking dude with a huge beard and like fingers that didn't really work would be like, oh yeah, they're right over here. I walked in, they're like, what?
Too long.
Right.
The manager of the store was like, what is he looking for?
That's
a what?
right. That's because the Radio Shack employees nowadays are imposters.
Yeah, they are.
They're fake Radio Shack people.
These people are the bottom layer of the tech world.
Yeah, these people can't make it at Best.
You are the scum of the
No. Me and Chachi are going to talk real talk here. They can't make Best Buy.
Oh, yeah, I was waiting for that.
They're the people who could make it.
Where does the Geek Squad fall in this hierarchy?
All right, this is coming from me. All right.
Well, that's obviously it's coming from you. You're talking.
A little bit of history here. I despise the Geek Squad.
Oh yeah, me too.
I hate the Geek Squad with every ounce of my being.
Geek Spore.
Okay? But in this situation, it goes Radio Shack, Geek Squad.
Oh, wow. Yo, can I find like the guy that Rob's talking about, the guy with the beard who was making ham radios in the 60s? That's the guy that needs to work at Radio Shack as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, that's the guy I want to see when I walk into Radio Shack. Not some pretty little blonde girl who likes to sell cell phones.
Yeah, seriously, you're not a cell phone store. You're the place that I go when I need something ridiculous.
That's where they're going.
When I'm looking for ridiculous parts for electronics, I want to walk in, and one of the first things I should see is that hardware store, a bin with the drawers and the little pictures on the drawers that tells you, oh, this power switch is in this box.
This XT to PS2 adapter is in here.
Exactly.
That's the type of crap I want when I go to Radio Shack. I don't go to Best Buy for that stuff. I know it's not going to be there.
Right.
They're busy selling the Zoom and the iPad too.
I don't want to walk into Radio Shack and have to go past the digital phones, or I mean the cell phones.
The digital phones.
I don't want to have to go past. Well, that's because
I don't want to go past the cordless phones to get to my power switches.
No.
Give me rotary any day.
No. I got the two sections. I got the two sections.
Yes, rotary phone.
I got the two sections confused or combined. I don't want to have to walk past the cell phones and the digital cameras to get to the obscure electronics crap that I want.
You know what I miss? The obscure toys they used to have. They don't have as much as those anymore.
Yeah, they used to have like they used to have obscure toys. They still have remote control cars with cameras on them, but the cameras have Wi-Fi now.
What?
Yeah.
And by the way, thank you, Rob, for saving me from future Radio Shack hell with monoprice.com.
Oh, yeah, no, I was surprised you didn't know about that.
I didn't know about that. I need a new PS2. I want a PS2 component cord so I can hook it up to my HD TV. And I'm like, it's going to be like $30, right?
I was really impressed with myself that I recognized the slat board that they used at Radio Shack from a crappy iPhone picture.
Yeah.
He posted a picture on Twitter. I don't even think it had a price tag on it. And I was just like, what are you doing at Radio Shack? Mono price, come on.
Why did I take a picture at Radio... Oh, so many... I did my 365 since I was at Radio Shack. I'm like so many cores or something. So he saw the whole thing and commented. And I haven't changed since. I think I ordered some stuff for work through Mono Price. I'm like, just get it here. It's nothing. I've been recommending it to everybody. I've been evangelizing Mono Price. And I haven't even personally bought anything yet from them.
Hey, Sorg, I would like to... this week... Yes. This past week it was Sorg's birthday.
Oh no.
So on
was
Friday.
It?
Yes, it was.
Are we going to do that?
No. I'm just.
Better not be singing.
No, we're not going to do that.
No, I'm leading into something else.
Okay.
But so I've been going back, and we've been talking about the crazy adventures that Sorg and I have gone on over the past decade plus.
Okay.
All the crazy stuff that
I love that Chachi's like.
Is this is your life?
Retrospective now.
We're talking about Radio Shack.
Okay.
Hey Sorg.
Yeah?
You remember that time we went to 5 different Radio Shacks to get the cat?
The Q Cat! It's around here somewhere! It's around
the barcode
over there, actually.
Yes.
You want me to pull it out, man?
You want me to go
think
find
I
it?
know where it is. Let me see if I can find this thing.
Yo, kids on the internet don't know about the Q Cat.
No.
Look up the Q Cat, man.
We were
that was the
online.
original QR code reader.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Q Cat is the only example of when Radio Shack was ahead of its time.
Right.
Yeah.
We were
Really
online, and I think
go get it.
Sorg happened to cross the article, and it said that
Was it Maddie?
oh, it was Maddie. We were all hanging out because that's what we did on the weekends in the small
Right, because
town.
that's what you do in a small town.
Yeah,
that's completely
we-
true. You just hang out at someone's house
Yeah,
and just
for
sit
the-
there and think about crap to do.
right. And so we were
The fact that you were able to pull that up quickly is rather impressive.
but we seriously road tripped to 4 or 5 different Radio Shacks in the
unreal
area
that, buddy. Unreal that.
to find.
Here, you put it on
Yeah.
AJ. Put it on
Yeah,
AJ.
let me put this on me. Now, for those of you who aren't ahead of your time nerd-wise, this is a QCat.
Yes.
I think I just came up with an idea for another Tumblr blog.
www.getcat.com. I don't know if that's still
no
out
way
there.
it's still there. No way.
So basically, all this thing is a very tiny barcode reader.
Yeah.
And what Radio Shack used to do in their ads was they would put the QCat code thingy, and you'd scan it, and it would pull it up online. Right?
Yeah.
That also was the original Google goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Google
were-
goggles, Amazon barcode scanner.
Yep.
All that stuff.
You were
Yeah.
supposed to be able.
The original red laser.
yes. You were.
That's the original red laser, kids.
Digitalconversions.com, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see about digital conversions.
You were supposed to be able to scan products around your house and find the best price for it.
And the other thing that I want to...
Information pages, too, I
Yeah,
think.
Right.
Yeah, the other thing I want to throw out here. Kids, this is a PS2 pass-through. Now, I don't know if anybody in here remembers PS2, and this is sad that I have to say these sorts of things. But what this was is this bit went into the computer, this bit plugged into your keyboard, so you never had to unplug your trusty QCat.
Now, why this is interesting, I don't know if we touched on it while I walked away, but the reason we were on this was, a friend was...
No, it's still up.
Yeah. Well, no, this is
fact
somebody
is-
else. There's a QCat.com, CUECat.com, but a lot of people were getting these so they could hack them.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Like,
people still do hack them.
And I want to inventory my DVD collection.
Getcat.com is a real... it's not a real website. It's a
domain. It's a park.
Yeah, it's a link farm.
It's parked.
That's not surprising,
But if you go to getcat.com, related searches, QCat. Right there.
Digital convergence is definitely on Wikipedia if you want to follow up on that. But that's
they had 250 employees in Dallas, Texas in 1998.
But this
Yo,
is
that
the
was-
type of crap that Radio Shack
Oh, yeah.
was
gimmicky.
yeah,
man.
was
Gimmicky.
good for.
My IBM Aptiva was a piece of crap, but that's kind of partly IBM's fault. Too.
Hack your QCat. Decrypt its output without special software.
This is what we brought up. Again, the X10 system we're going to be talking about. We were talking with Chilla the other day. I got my Aptiva, and it came with this home. I still have that around too, believe it or not. Home director, which is just like that thing where you plug it in, and the computer will be able to talk to it over the phone. Actually, it talked to it over the power line. I think this is a precursor to power line networking in the home.
Oh man,
And-
Powerline networking is still awesome.
It was a precursor because it was sending the signal over the power line. Because I remember I had to plug my computer into one, it send it out, and you could schedule your lights and stuff. It was really finicky, it was Windows 95, whatever. But that was like the kind of gimmicky pack-in stuff they did at Radio Shack.
Right.
Just like we're like, oh, you gotta get your iPad with the case and whatever else,
man.
and Apple Care,
By the way, I never realized this. The optional audio cable, the digital convergence cable, is sometimes provided with the scanner. This cable connects between your computer and the audio output of your TV using special codes embedded in TV shows and commercials to direct you to websites, much like actually scanning the appropriate barcodes.
These guys were thinking big, man.
These guys were like 16 years ahead of their time.
You know who was planning on doing that?
Who?
Apple with the iPad.
Oh hey, you know who is doing that? Shazam.
Exactly.
Yeah, Shazam has
Yeah.
now. I forget what commercial it is, but there's a commercial where it says like a little circle in the bottom right-hand corner. It says Shazam this. You open up Shazam, it listens to that, listens to the commercial, and it'll take you to a website with related content.
Then they have now a thing where is it the ABC app that if you have the app on your iPad, it listens for the program you have on and it syncs content with what's going on the television.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the sort of crap that we're on now, kids.
And it all started with the QCat.
And it all started with the
All where it
QCat.
came from.
This is one hell of a rat hole.
Yeah, it really is.
You know what? This
might be our biggest rat hole ever. Congratulations.
That's what this is. That was something that was awesome.
Rat hole
in
Q
1998.
Cat,
That's
get it?
amazing.
Rat hole Q cat. Get it?
But I mean, back to Radio Shack. This is the type of stuff that Radio Shack had.
Well, no, yeah, this is the type of stuff they had, and the type of stuff you could do. Ready for the greatest segue ever? Ready? Rooting your Nook color and installing honeycomb. Back in the day, you used to have to just open that crap up and do some soldering to get things to work. Not anymore. Software package. Done.
He gets props for bringing it back around.
Yeah.
That's actually in the rundown.
It's in the rundown, and I brought it around, and it's in order. I think I get +5 for that one.
Wow.
He gets 5 awesome points.
Well,
I mean, it's kind of insane. I mean,
I'm surprised it took them this long.
No, this came out like a month ago.
Oh, okay.
And I just happened to catch it because my mom bought a Nook color.
So
and
you hacked it for her?
No, I didn't. I want to. Because I look at it and I'm like, okay, $249. I saw one at Barnes & Noble the other night because I actually went to a real bookstore. And, yeah, it was weird. And paper feels weird to me now. So I'm standing there, and they have like a Nook color display, and there's a bunch of books on it, and you can play with it. And thankfully the people at Barnes and Noble who work there are nice enough to leave you alone. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh hey, if you have any questions, just let me know, and they walk away. So I'm just like standing there using this thing, just playing around with it, seeing what it does. Seriously, Barnes and Noble has a full-blown Android tablet on their hands, and it's got the same specs as a Droid X. Yeah, it's got an A8 based processor in it, so legitimately you can put honeycomb on it. I saw a video of it, and the guy's in the Android market and everything, and he's using it. I'm like, that's the sort of stuff that people need to do more of. Just break things.
No, they're not breaking anything. They're making it better.
They're $6 million manning that stuff.
Yeah. That stuff. Go ahead, Rob.
So, well, I mean, there's another obvious segue here. Speaking of hacking things and things being open, you know how Android is like, easy argument. Oh, well, it's open source.
Yeah, it's so
great.
open.
+1, Rob.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you. You can, you can get at that source code. You can hack it. You can stick it on a Nook. You can do whatever you want. Oh no, just kidding. We here at Google, we're not going to give you the source code for Android anymore.
I can't turn my Zoom into a Nook.
Nope.
Oh,
not anymore.
Yeah, they revealed on Thursday that they will be delaying the publication of the Android 3.0 source code for the foreseeable future with no date. Just like, whatever. So back in the beginning when they said that the reason you want to come to Android is to get away from the draconian future, they're referring to Apple devices where one company controls everything that you can do on the device. Welcome to Google.
Yep.
Yeah. AJ?
Not anymore.
And that, actually right now, there's more of the source code out there for iOS 4.3 than there is of Honeycomb. So, nice job, Google and Android dorks. Sorry, Chachi.
Well, he's not a developer. He's not a developer. He's a user.
No, the general argument is that it's open, and that's Chachi. That's the original reason why you went with Android,
right? No,
right?
You're right. I don't agree with what Google's doing.
Right.
It's bad.
No, Google. By the way,
the
Google
openness of the OS was possibly the last thing to tie them to this idea of freedom and openness and free software. It's over.
I have no reason to keep my Android anymore.
Wow.
Yes, no. Yes, you do.
Well, I mean,
yes, you do, because you can play Super Mario Brothers on that thing.
Right.
What, did you have to root your device to get that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean, he wins as far as that goes. Give him that.
It's a available app in my store.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
But I mean, it wasn't tied down.
Right.
Which is the reason everyone went to Android.
Right.
It's not anymore, so I can go buy an iPhone.
To support your point, the openness and the let's just say laxness of the App Store in the long run. Yeah. That's what we really want, not open. Yeah. Open is a very
Open is the term that people use when they say, I don't want to pay for crap.
That's when I want to be a hippie about the damn thing.
Yeah. They want to be a hippie when it comes to money, but grand scheme of things, they'd go with something else if it was free.
Yeah. Right. But you got something like there's this app that came out recently that was it was a crowdsourcing thing where you can mark police checkpoints.
DUI checkpoints.
DUI checkpoints. Law enforcement asked Apple to pull it. They did. They're like, yes, we'll pull it. We agree with you. Google was asked to pull and said, no, they actually don't violate any of our terms, so we have no real reason to.
And I think Apple put that. I'm sure that whenever they wrote their terms, or their terms of selling things in the store, is that it can be pulled at any time if a government organization or law enforcement ask us to pull it.
Somebody please correct me, but I think Apple has a clause in there that we can pull your app for any
reason at any time.
Yeah, any reason
for any reason they feel necessary at any time. Yeah, and that is basically the government inclusion, which says that, like, you know what, if the Department of Homeland Security or whatever comes to us and says this needs to go now, we will abide immediately.
Oh, no, wait, yeah, I'm on a delay, so apparently this probably happened for the rest of you, but there's a dancing robot on my screen.
Oh, yeah, I put that at the bottom of the dock there.
Yeah. I figured that's pretty much going to be on loop for the rest of the show.
Okay. Well, so while we support and tear down the Android, we'll just have the dancing one on screen for your video watchers.
This non-openness of Google, like, a lot of people haven't been paying a lot of attention to it because it's the nerdy side of it where they've been locking things down. But even in the beginning, they started with delaying the release of the SDK. Like, you would think that, okay, we're going to call ourselves open and free and encourage the hacking of the system and doing whatever you want with it. Started after the first few months of releasing the Android OS, they decided they were going to slap a delay on the release of the source code. And then after that, they're sending cease and desist notices to modders for building custom firmware images. The hardware manufacturers are blocking the installation of third-party firmware. And now they're not releasing the source code for the OS at all.
This is Google doing this.
This is Google doing this, yes.
Motorola.
Well, I mean, the hardware manufacturers are the hardware manufacturers, but you stick that with, like, how many devices exist right now where they're like, oh, you can run, 3.0, but you can't run 3.2, or, like, whatever version. You're stuck. Once you buy it, you're glued to it, and now you can't even hack it.
Man.
The Android device is becoming one of the most closed devices you can get your hands on.
Right.
Maybe the playbook will save us, Rob. Maybe the playbook. Maybe my Nook will save me.
Being surrounded.
QNX forever.
QNX, I don't even know what that is.
QNX is the actual operating system that
being around all of you Apple people.
All of us Apple people.
All of us Apple people. That's the three of us. So.
It's been running off on me, but
how awesome is the iPad, Chachi?
It's the best tablet device you can get your hands on.
Which is saying, nobody's beating it.
I have.
Everybody's stumbling into the space.
Did you go?
No, I didn't buy one.
I was about to say.
No, he borrows Missy's for the show.
Yeah, I use it every week.
I mean,
he watches Netflix over here during Wrestling Mayhem.
Yeah, I do.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So,
are you gonna watch PS I Love You this week? What are you gonna watch?
So, speaking of things being delayed.
Oh man. Are we going to talk? Chachi, can you go ahead and alert the world to this, please?
Yeah, I'll do it.
We were all excited. Like, how long ago was that? Like a month or two ago?
Yeah,
we were all excited. It was 2011. We thought the world was a better place.
All right, folks, sit down.
I am sitting down, Chachi.
Okay. I was talking to the listeners.
Oh, okay. Well, they're probably sitting down, too.
You don't know that. They could be running on a treadmill.
Yeah, if you're running on a treadmill and listening to this, you probably fell asleep and you're getting a facial burn from the treadmill. I'm going to be real honest here.
My fellow gamers, Duke Nukem has been delayed.
What?
Again.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
One time.
No!
Only a month. Only a month.
Only a month.
Oh man! Did you see the video that they released?
Yes,
I heard about this. I want to see this.
It was good.
Stuff.
I'll admit it was good, and they're taking it pretty well.
It's the greatest.
It is good. It is the who is it? The president? Or who is it in the video?
Isn't it like it's Gearbox? Somebody from Gearbox, right?
Yeah, it's the guy from Gearbox, and he's like, "Yeah, we're so excited. This is great. It's going to come out, and we're so happy to say that it's here." And then a guy walks up behind him and changes the date on the sign. And he's like, "Is this a joke?"
Man,
I'm glad they think it's funny because, oh man, I'm in tears.
Man, I was really somebody. I think my brother pre-ordered it.
Wow.
He's
What year did he pre-order it?
No, this year. I think he bought it on Steam or something.
He pre-ordered it in 2008 in hopes that it would come around.
Have you seen that? Like the people with like
because I remember it came out
GameStop.
like
they have like Funko Land receipts from when they pre-ordered it.
Jesus.
And like $99, dude.
Yo, I
mean,
still have
it's-
Funko Land sleeves on my old Nintendo games that I bought
I
there.
want to know.
By the way, R.I.P. Funko Land.
Well, they just got absorbed. Now they're
No.
GameStop.
R.I.P.
No.
Funko. Funko Land and GameStop are two completely different
Oh, yeah,
things.
Yeah.
Funko Land was awesome and had old Nintendo games and comic books, and
Oh,
it
I
was
used
a
to
wonderful,
love
magical place.
Oh,
GameStop.
we're rat holing. We're rat holing.
Yeah.
We're rat holing. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
GameStop
okay.
is the
GameStop stinks.
devil.
Yes.
GameStop stinks.
We're done with
Yeah.
that.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Anything else before we have to head out of here and talk
question.
wrestling? Yes.
I want to. Because we're still talking about Duke Nukem, it's a related topic.
Okay.
But since Funko Land was absorbed by GameStop, do you think they'll honor those pre-orders?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Like if you walk in with a receipt, you
They
think
kind of have to. I hope there's no interest on that.
They don't have to. They have no obligation to honor sales
That's
from
true.
previous.
I always thought pre-orders were kind of a racket.
Oh, yeah,
They're
they-
a little, it's a little bit of a weird. I only pre-ordered I think I went and pre-ordered WarioWare after I got my Wii. That was I was like, yeah, this is kind of a weird process, and I don't have a GameStop that accessible to me. So
There's a door one, isn't there? No. That's an exchange.
That's an exchange. Yeah, but I guess I could.
The only
pre-order.
I pre-ordered a PC game once. I pre-ordered Halo for PC.
Halo for the PC. That's excellent.
For PC.
Oh, we got the
It was,
robot
it was
coming in.
amazing.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you could hack it. You could get a mod that let me shoot scorpions out of the rifle.
There you go. There you go.
It was incredible. You could throw warthogs. You could drive with zero gravity. That's why I wanted it.
Never mind.
What's up?
Oh, I broke it.
What'd you break? What is the Android? Is the dancing Android going away?
I was trying to full screen it, but that's
No,
not-
don't do that. Don't try to do that on the system.
You broke the internet's done.
That's not happy when you do that.
By the way, breaking news, IT security fail. Nice job, BP. BP says laptop with private info on some 13,000 spill claimants is missing.
Oh.
So we can now end the show on that lovely note. Can we? 1, 2, 3, and
Done.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So, you want to take us out?
Oh, yeah, guys. Hey, I think we had a great talk.
Great talk. See you out there.
The Q Cat. I want to thank the Q Cat for
Yo,
making
shout out to the Q Cat.
make its return here on the AwesomeCast. It's amazing.
Like it was here before.
Yeah, well, it always was here. Actually,
It was always here.
It was
Actually,
al-
No,
it was always
no,
on
you
that
know what?
shelf.
No, it was
It was right here.
it was always right
It was right here. Right here on my heart.
Yep.
You're in my heart, Q Cat. You're in my heart.
I'm getting worried that I still see the Android over there. Okay, that's a delay. Okay. Thank you, AJ, for joining us for
no
taking
problem.
the jog over.
Yo, I feel not. No, I'm finally not winded. It took me an hour and a half to
Something
not
like
be
that.
winded.
Something like that.
Dun,
And
dun, dun, dun,
Rob, during the show, I know that it was asked if you were in a tent.
I was not logged into Justin.tv because I honestly didn't feel like it.
Burn
They are
everybody
getting
in
a
the
little
chat.
weird with the commercials and everything lately. So
Yeah. When we move over to an IRC chat room, I will engage, but I don't feel like loading up a
man.
Flash player.
Oh.
Just
Can I
to-
have a question? Can I have voice?
voice
chat.
plus V.
What voice chat in
No.
the
Oh, Jesus, Sorg.
what?
Oh,
What
what
did I
are you
miss?
doing?
Wait, what did I do?
It's an IRC channel mode, okay? Plus V. Plus O is op.
Plus O is up. Plus V is voice.
Voice.
Plus M is
Man,
mod.
I have not been on. I have not loaded up I used to have a Merc back in the day.
Yo,
and
shout out to Dalnet.
I haven't loaded that
Yes.
up in like 10 years, man.
Shout out to channel Windows 95. Shout out to channel Microsoft or Macintosh.
Shout out to Progenic, UK hackers.
Shout out to the RNS crew.
Shout out to the Weed crew. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, okay, we're done here. Shout out the whole IRC.
All right. So,
Hashtag for life.
Seriously, I don't know good RSC.
Hashtag for
IRC
life, y'all.
clients. If you guys have any recommendations, I will implement them. I'm cool with that.
Well, we just need to pick a channel on a server. Just go hop on Dalnet and pick a channel, but we do need pick any Java client or
Yeah,
whatever.
they have
so.
Colloquy as an iPad
So-
IRC app.
Oh god, you found my Star Trek toys. Thank you, Kumar. Anyways,
Rat holing all over the place.
All over the place. Yeah, this is great though. This is great.
This show is like Swiss cheese. It's crazy.
Another future rat hole. Chilla is looking to return to the show in 2 weeks in studio because we went to his place, saw his wonderful toys, and want him to come back and share them with us.
Yes.
So look forward to that in about 2 weeks, and we have some other guests we're working on here.
We do?
We nobody knows but Rob, I think.
We do.
We do. Yes. So hopefully some other cool people doing cool things around here in the Pittsburgh area.
Well, F you both. Cancel in the show. Cancel.
So for everybody, hey, yo, check us out. Contact at awesomecast.com. Or you can call us at 724-258-CAST. Oh, wait, we're not on the same page.
Okay, hold on. 724-258-ACAST.
Wow.
All right, we'll get better with that.
Rough, Chicago, Illinois, 60652.
Or 724-252-2278.
This is Sorg for Chachi, AJ, and Rob Izzle.
Rob Izzle.
It's been the Awesome Cast. You've been our awesome audience. We'll see you guys next week.
#for life.